It's 4 in a row, baby. I don't think we've had a win streak in a long time.
Introduce me.
I, I don't have to. It's just like, hey, what's up, Eddie? We just have a conversation. I'm not formal like that. It's just right into teaching the fans how to be delusional, and that's what we're here for. So, Eddie, it's been a while since we've talked on a podcast. No negativity. There's
No,
gonna
that's why I wanted you to introduce me.
give it up for Eddie Lanza, Mister Positive. Now, Eddie Lanza, Crow Hog Sports. Is that how would you like? Is that what would you like? Give Eddie is a positive coach for like little kids. Something I don't know a lot about. Come on, dude, pick it up. We can't have lulls. Get your coffee kicking.
34-10. It's got to feel good. It was against the Jets, but a win is a win. And what's the Dolphins' record?
6-7. Oh God, this is ridiculous. He likes the kids. 6-7. Look at here's the deal. We're just gonna get like, look, we don't need to recap the game or anything. All we know is Devon Achan's the future. We got to sign him after the year. That's something to look forward to. Let's sign him big time, $10 million a year. I'm all in. 4 year, $45 million contract, fully guaranteed. Let's go.
And you don't like what Jalen Wright did when he went out? Over 100
Sure.
yards.
Yeah, I like him too, but I wanna like make sure that everyone knows that we're gonna have some contract negotiations this offseason with Achan. That it's coming, and to be a little nervous that we hope the new GM or whoever comes in is all about Achan because that's the next jersey I'm gonna buy.
But does everything stay the same? I
Eddie,
mean,
take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Does everything stay the same? No, in-house things that we can't see and we don't know about have already changed. Okay.
such
Now
as,
we've fired like three scout people, like head of scouting and head of draft, like player development people. That's like
let me tell
important
you,
pieces.
the head of scouts have not been fired because one of them plays on my son's baseball team and he's a worthless human, but yet there he is every day. Looks like he doesn't know a thing about
Okay,
football.
listen, but look, there's been a lot of player development and scouting people fired and replaced that. There's new people coming in. So let's take a deep breath. Secondly, I think Mike McDaniel has earned another shot if he gets to 8 wins. Yes. If he gets to 8 wins, he's earned it. The team clearly likes him. Clearly, the team likes him. They're
I
playing
don't
for him.
I don't dislike him. I like him very much. I just don't know if he's a head coach. I think he's best
Oh,
suited for a coordinator, like offensive
okay.
coordinator, but I don't know if he commands the room to be
Why?
the
Why?
head coach.
Why? He's been to the playoffs 2 out of 4 years. He's had only a winning record. It's not his fault. He has Tua as a quarterback who couldn't stay
But you
healthy,
can't
and then
take
now,
steps back.
buddy, he. If you have him on Detroit Lions as the head coach, different type of coaches, they're a playoff team. Would you agree
Oh,
with that?
that's quite the hypothetical. That's quite the hypothetical. I don't know if I can agree with a statement like that.
That's crazy. Why?
Mike, we sat here over the summer and we went through the schedule and we specifically, you know what? When am I not allowed to talk? Because you start
No,
scratching your
no,
head
no, no, no,
anytime I
no.
say
Because
something that I'm
because
heading towards negative
did we know that too? Listen, Tua. Look, Mike McDaniel is out on Tua. Do you see how many times he just runs the ball and kicks the field goal and gets a halftime? He doesn't trust him. It's clearly we didn't know Tua was going to regress to Tart Nation
So then you keep Mike McDaniel around next year, and
for 1 year. For 1 year,
you yourself have said Tua is not going anywhere next year.
it doesn't matter. We don't know that. That doesn't mean we can't bring someone else in. We're just not going to let him go play for another team while we pay him $50 million. That would be ridiculous. You
Who
have
are
to
they
pay him
bringing
50.
in?
I don't know, Eddie, but I'm telling you, you're not letting Tua walk for $50 million so you can go play on another team for $300,000. You're going to at least sit him on the bench and deal with the money cap.
Tell me to his contract. Can he pick up another option after next year?
No, he's got this is his second year of his 4 year extension. We could get rid of him last year, I guess, and make less money, but next year he's on the team for $50 million. He's getting $50 million from the Dolphins no matter what. So
And the
if you're giving
fourth
him
year, he can pick up the option, correct?
no, he doesn't. It's not a player option like that. It's just an extension. There's no option thing. I'm saying at the fourth year we could get rid of him, and there will still be dead money, but not as much. I'm just saying next year you're not going to release a guy who's making $50 million from you, so you could go let him play on another team. Why would you
Okay,
do
fair
that?
enough. But you can also maybe get the most out of Tua if another coach comes in.
No, we're done with you. You got to get out of that mentality. He's not the guy. Why are we going to get? And also, anyone's going to get the most out of Tua. It's the guy who got the most out of Tua. He got the most out of Tua. No one can get that much out of Tua. He did. He made Tua look like a Pro Bowler for a season.
What is with Tua and now the whole arm tattoo, the braids, the veneers?
Well,
You can
listen,
clearly see where he spent the money, and it's just like I don't even know
he's
what he's
just weird.
saying half the time.
His personality's weird. I don't want to get into that with him. I want to play hypotheticals. Okay, look,
Okay.
we're 6-7. I think we have a great chance to win on Monday. Oh no, he doesn't
Okay.
believe it.
It's not that I don't believe that they can't win. It's that I believe that, I mean, do you want to win these games? Are we
Eddie,
going to
look,
the playoffs?
Eddie. This channel is about taking your wins as a fan. We're never gonna get that Super Bowl. So this is our Super Bowl. Monday Night Football is this year's Super Bowl. We're not gonna make the playoffs, but
Mike, have
this
you
is our
rewinded to your takes like 5 weeks ago? You were like suicidal
yeah.
on the Dolphins. You
No,
were
no, but
trying
I
to
was still
make out with an old lady in Cleveland that had red
no,
hair.
no. But my recaps, you don't watch the recaps then. My recaps are always how do we find listen, I teach Dolphin fans that watch this. How do you cheer? How do you find excitement? We're not going to sit there and go, oh, I'm not going to watch the game. I don't do that. So how do we get excitement? If we get to 7-7, that's so exciting for me. So now, hey, everyone, 7-7. Whoo, that's fun. We're having a good time. This is our Super Bowl. Let's go into this game and like, hey, forget about what is real. And this is our Super Bowl. This is it. Let's have fun. Hey,
Well,
invite friends over, buy a bunch of food, order pizza, celebrate it. I'm telling everyone right now, invite friends over, and they'll be like, "Why are you making such a big deal?" And have a little a game, bets, everything.
so
That's
next
all.
4 games, what do you legitimately think the Dolphins record could be? They've got the Steelers on Monday night, and the Steelers are nothing better than a 500 team. The
Hey, I'm
Bengals
thinking of
look dangerous with Joe Burrow. The Buccaneers, who are so, and the Patriots, who may not be playing for anything. Now, I'm all in that they can beat the
that's
Steelers.
wrong. That's wrong. The Patriots will be playing for something no matter what. I've already done the whole thing. There's not going to be any chance they're sitting their players. They're playing for something, no matter what.
Fair
Whether
enough.
it's the one seed trying to get the bye or it's staying as the division number two.
I don't know. Broncos loss and them continuing to win would put them way. I mean, they're playing for
No,
t-shirts and hats this week.
they both have the same record. They want the bye. Only one team gets the bye, buddy. They're all going to be playing for that bye. The Broncos would have to lose two before they get to that Patriots game, and then they
You
have that
know,
locked in.
it's like when you keep saying, buddy, it's like I feel like you're saying in a way like you want to stab me and it's super passive aggressive, like buddy, buddy. And you know
Yeah,
what? And
yeah.
I just don't appreciate it all because 6-7 and I feel a little deflated. And don't I
But you
have a
know,
right as a Dolphins fan to feel a little
no,
deflated?
no, no, no,
Now, if they
because
finish anything better, if they finish anything worse than 10-7, as a fan, that's deflating, isn't it?
Eddie, Eddie, that's fine. And if that's what you want to promote, that's great. But what I promote on my channel is teaching Dolphin fans how to feel good and what to cheer for. And what I told you is I'm not looking ahead at the Bengals game or the Bucks game or the Patriots game. I'm
One game at
telling
a
them
time.
I'm telling them to celebrate the Steelers game like this is your playoff Super Bowl. Like, why
Okay.
not? Let's have fun. It's make believe, dude. This isn't real life. This is a stupid sport that we're obsessed with. So, how can I trick my mind into thinking this is the Super Bowl? Is it? No, it's not. We're not crazy. We know it's not the Super Bowl. But if we could pretend and play make believe like when we were kids, then we could have fun. Hey, buddy, everyone come over. It's Super Bowl Sunday, Monday. It is? Shut up. Come over. We're gonna cook some lasagna. We're gonna have fucking chips and dip. We're gonna have one of those boards with like bets and stuff. How long is the halftime show going to be? We don't even get a halftime show. It's even better. This is our Super Bowl. Let's win. We get to 7-7. Then we can be more delusional the next week. All we
Oh,
want to do is get
I get it now.
delusional and delusional and delusional. How
Yeah,
delusional can we get?
I get
Nothing
it
is going to
now.
happen. Yes, nothing is ever going to happen. Let's be
But why
delusional.
lasagna? Why lasagna and chips and dips? That seems like a weird combination.
That's what came out of my brain. You think I'm
Okay.
thinking when I talk?
No, I guess
Yeah.
not.
Come on, man. I didn't write this. This isn't written. This is
So
just personality. Yeah. Okay. So
hypothetically in delusion land.
hypothetically, we all right. Hypothetical, we win out. It would take a miracle to make the playoffs.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say this, and when people ask, you ask this question, why would you even want to like win out or win these games? Because man, I always hate when people are like tank, tank, tank. We're already out of like tank for what? We're not drafting a quarterback. There's only like two of them coming out, and we're not going to get one of those high picks. Our first overall pick this year, whether it's pick 13 or 18, is going to be the best secondary player available, right? That's our biggest need.
And I think that's what's somewhat deflating is that right now, it feels like the season we haven't been playing for much. And now you're at that point where it's a too little too late. So it's like you're really only hurting the draft pick, but it's not like there's a lot of great quarterbacks
Dude,
coming
there's
out anyway.
so look,
Like, and
yes.
then you're going to pick a secondary player, which isn't a really huge, sexy pick because everybody loves offensive picks. So it's really just, it's
No, but I
delusion
mean
and it's tough to get
second
excited about it.
secondary players are like some of the most important people because the wide receivers are so important. We need a really good cornerback too. If not including like some of these guys have proven themselves to be back on the team next year, but we still need a stud cornerback. And I must say Mika has developed into a leader in the locker room. Our defensive coordinator is a great coach. Our defensive line is coming around. Some of the young guys are coming around and developing. Our linebacker core is actually great. We have the closest thing since Zach Thomas we've ever had. Surprisingly, we have a great young team to build around.
You miss
Outside of our
Jalen
core,
Phillips?
no, not at all. Look, he didn't pan out, but like, look, Chubb is. I mean, Chubb has had a great year, and then Chop Robinson has had a great last 3 games. Our Miami Dolphins defense in the last 4 games has been outstanding. It's where they were last year. I don't know what happened to them the first 10 games of the season, but they are back. All right, and that is a good. That's something to be optimistic about. Our offensive line, Patrick Paul is a hit, baby. We got one of the best left tackles in the league for the next 5, 6, 7 years. We have a great center. Our left guard, who's been a bust, is getting a little bit better. Okay. And then from there, you can build that offensive line. You have HN, you have Waddle. Yeah, we need other wide receivers. You'll get Tyreek early back in the season. I'm just saying, you can be delusional. Do you see what I'm saying?
So let's be delusional with who could potentially come in and play quarterback next season and
No.
bring this team over the edge. Now look at it. You're paying 2 of 50, so they got to be cheap.
So here's two
Probably
things that
going to
could
be an
happen.
experienced veteran. Who?
Here's two things that could happen. There's two things that could happen. If they decided to part ways with McDaniel, because then you have to go all in on the tank. You
Is
have to
that
go
fifty
all in.
fifty?
So far, it's 50-50, right? And if they moved on from Mike McDaniel, then you need to hire a puppet that you're willing to fire in 2 seasons that will tank next year. Because if you don't keep McDaniel, then you need to tank for Arch Manning, and you have to do it correctly. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point? That's all I'm saying. What's the point? If you're going to do this, go for it. If you're going to do this, you're going to go for the blood. The guy who's got the blood that can win Super Bowls. So I'm just telling you right now, you can't keep McDaniel and then tank. If you keep McDaniel, that means you're going into a thing where you think you could win and get to the playoffs.
Do
But how
you
do you do that?
realize with what you're saying, what we could be sitting here talking about in 1 year from now? If you're talking
Yeah.
about that and tanking for next season, do you realize the state of mind you would be in next year around this time?
No, no, I would be like, we got to do it right. And I would be very excited because I know what would happen. You know, that guy, the way he ended his call this season, Texas ended, you're like, oh, he figured it out. Next year, he's going to be the Heisman winner. He's going to be the #1 overall pick, and everybody is going to be tanking for him. It's going to be like, it's going to be hard for the NFL to stop people from tanking.
So
That's how
you
crazy it's going to be.
legitimately think that the Tennessee Titans or the Las Vegas Raiders right now are tanking?
Um, I don't, the Raiders are an interesting thing. I think that Pete Carroll might not come back.
Oh, he's definitely not coming back.
And I think that they could be in a full tank thing next year for it. Sure, they could be. Yeah. The thing is, coaches won't agree to tank. Look, they tried it with Flores. That's why you have to hire a puppet to tank. And then the thing is, if you hire a puppet, why would you want that guy as your regular coach? Because nobody who's willing to tank is really a good coach. So then you got to hire the next coach.
Well,
It's a hard process.
that's why maybe tanking isn't a thing.
I
Maybe
think
there's tanking and then there's just
no.
bad football teams.
I think an owner and a GM can definitely manipulate that. I think you're totally wrong. I think that's a business decision that would be smart to do. It's absolutely smart to do. If you could guarantee 17, 15 years, come on. It's a thing that executives and I guarantee you it's a
But you're
conversation
not
that people
guaranteeing
have.
15 or 17 years. You're not. Just because it says Manning on the back of his
Sure,
jersey does not mean you're guaranteeing 15 or
sure,
17
nothing's
years.
guaranteed, but that's a better percentage than anything else. So that is what I'm saying. It's the best percentage. Nothing is guaranteed. Sure, yeah, obviously, but that is the closest to guarantee you can get. That's the game we're playing. How do I get close to guarantee? With Mahomes, it's I have the closest to guarantee of winning. So why? That's just the game.
But you've got these defensive guys under contract. You have certain guys under contract for next season. And going 2 years from now, you're not talking about the same players that you have right now on the field.
That's not
You
important. What's
cannot
important,
look 2 seasons ahead. We're looking at Monday night right
Eddie?
now.
Yeah, but we're having a conversation. We're having a conversation, Eddie. Don't try to contradict me. I'm just saying hypothetically all the possibilities. Do you want to talk about the future of the Dolphins or do you want to talk about this season? You can't ask me two questions and then tell me I can't talk about one when I get into it. I can get into anything, but buddy, baby. I can get into anything, baby. I'm just saying, do you want to talk about being delusional and how do we get excited to root for stuff?
I mean,
I
being
can do that.
delusional is that they're going to win out. The Chargers lose. Somehow the Colts are dead.
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I think so, but I don't. Yeah,
Why would you even stutter so much that the Colts
because
aren't dead? I'm just
they brought
curious.
like because could Philip Rivers win one game?
You really think Philip Rivers can win one game? And I think, based on
No,
what I'm looking
but
at in the playoffs,
no.
he technically has to win 2 games. No?
They have 5 losses, right? They would have to get to 8 losses. We need
Five,
them
six.
because they beat us, so they have to get to 8 losses. Look, we need the Colts to get to 8 losses.
There's no path for this team to get to the
Yeah,
playoffs.
yeah. You need two teams to get 8 losses. The Chiefs have to lose more than seven because they have a better conference record than us. So the Chiefs have to lose one more, and they could very well win out and still make the playoffs.
Well, you got Baltimore and Pittsburgh. One of them is not making the playoffs.
Well, we control our own destiny by beating Pittsburgh. So beating Pittsburgh immediately puts us above them with 7 losses each because we
Okay,
beat them.
fair enough.
So they're eliminated. The Chargers, they beat us, so they would have to get to 8 losses. They very well
They're
could lose all
already they're
four, but
already
they
nine
already,
and four,
yeah,
and they're gonna win at least 2 more games because well,
yeah.
they've
They
got
could
a
lose
tough
all of them.
schedule. They've got the Chiefs, the
They
Cowboys,
could,
the Texans, and the Broncos.
and the Broncos will be playing for the 1 seed. They could definitely lose all of them.
And what
That's our.
about the Bills? I'm looking at the Bills.
The Bills are not going to get to. They have to get to 7 losses. They could lose to the Patriots, that puts them at 5, and then they have the Eagles, that puts them at 6. But they're not losing to the Browns and Jets.
No,
That's
they're
just the
not.
problem. So that's a goodbye. So really, it leaves you with Indy's out. They could get to 8,
Houston,
and
they
you
just
need
look so
Houston.
good.
You need Houston or the Chargers. It sucks, or the
Houston,
Jags.
Houston looks just too good.
They're not going to lose two
Yeah, and
games.
Houston has the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Colts.
They're gonna win too. So really, it's like it would take a miracle. And look, we don't have to look at it now. We can take it week by week and let's just get to 8 and 7 and then reevaluate it. But I just don't see Houston getting to 7 or 8 losses. The Chargers are really our best option of getting them to 8. That's what it is.
And you don't do you look back at some of these games like this Panthers loss, this
No, the one that will
Chargers
haunt the
loss,
Chargers
this
loss will haunt
this
us
beat
forever.
down by the Browns.
That doesn't matter. That was a beatdown. The Chargers loss will haunt us because we won that game. And Jalen Phillips, all he had to do was get that sack and we win. And that's going to haunt us. That's going to be the team that gets in. The Chargers are going to be the seventh seed probably. And we're going to be looking at them with either the same record or one game back and going, if we win that game, we're in. And if there was ever a year to get into the playoffs and not have to worry about Mahomes, think about that. Or the
Now,
Ravens.
now put your delusional hat aside for just a second.
Okay, hold on.
Put it to the side, and now
It's
step into the reality of this season. And I'm going to give you a
okay.
hypothetical without delusions. They finish 10-7. The Chargers end up whatever 10-7. They're the seventh seed, and you're looking up. How does it truly make you feel inside? How would it truly make you feel inside?
I would be frustrated to know that, wow, if we just didn't, there was like three games that we lost on the last play of the game that if we went 10-7 that we were this close to being 13-4 with such a bad looking year and such a bad year out of Tua. I would say that's a brilliant coach. For how bad Tua played, that coach is
10-4?
awesome. What?
What was your prediction for the team at the beginning of the season record wise?
I said it would go either really good, like 12-5, or really bad. And I was kind of right, and now it looks like it's going to be right in the
You were
middle.
kind of right. Okay, fair enough.
But I want to say if they finish 10-7, it's not crazy to say that they were three wins away from like we lost the Patriots game because of that punt return, right?
Yeah,
Then we lost the Chargers game because of the missed sack. That's two
correct.
games. And then the Panthers game, you took the lead with 30 seconds left, and then they go down. There's three games that you could have just like the flip of a ball. You're like, they went 10-7, and Tua had the worst year of his career. You're telling me we could have went 13-4 with this team? How is that coach not awesome? How is that not a head coach? That's all
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying.
don't look back at the Commanders game and where was it played? Brazil or wherever it was, and say they were potentially looking at that time not to win any more games because they tried to lose that game. They were trying to lose that game. If you remember the text that we were sending, going
Yeah.
forward on fourth down at the
Yeah.
2 yard line, knowing they
That was
couldn't
a
punch
weird
it
one.
in at all. So I think something happened in that particular game where they were looking to lose the rest of their games and they were looking to stay up there for draft capital.
I don't, I disagree. I disagree because that was, let me look. That was we beat the Bills. We're coming off the Bills win. Like why that was like, okay, let's try to create a winning streak here. I think it was just a hard game and it was a very ugly game. I think look, at the end of the day, I think the fact if this guy gets to 9-8 or 8-9 with how bad Tua's played, like I just think I think this guy's a great coach, and I think people are wrong, and I think that's why the media agrees. The media is not trashing McDaniel at all, and a lot of fans have turned. If you go on the Dolphins Reddit, are not like asking for his head. We just wanted the GM gone. We think the player development was the biggest part of the problem. Missing on draft picks. Like, look, at the end of the day, we knew our weaknesses were the secondary and our offensive line. The guy never really took a stab at the offensive line like the Bears did. Like the Bears went all in this year on the offensive line. Like, why haven't we done that for the last 3 years? That was very frustrating. Like,
So look,
oh yeah,
Tua is such a question mark, and his has been the problem. Why
he
give
should
him
have
all of this money
agreed. That
2
was a
years
big
ago?
bonehead.
We
You could have,
talked about this. We
yeah,
said, "Oh my God, they're going to give him this money. He's not really quite there." But
and
then they gave him $50 million
yeah,
a year.
the
Fifty
market and
million dollars.
the thing is we could have extended to picked up his fifth year option, which we did. Then you take that, and then he could be franchise tagged right now. Nobody was going to take him or compete against us. Look, the 49ers made the same mistake too. They shouldn't have paid Purdy that money. It's just like a lot of teams made this financial mistake.
I don't know. Would you take Purdy over Tua?
Right now,
Stop.
yes, but I said right now, yes, but I don't want him. He's not the guy. He's not the guy either. So what's the point? They're not the guy, bro. That's not the point. It's not about who would I rather have. They're not the fucking guy, and that was a bad financial decision. You got to get out of here, GM. You got to go,
Mike, Bo Nix looks like a
buddy.
stud.
They're
Bo
complaining
Nix
about
looks
him.
like a
Is he
stud.
a stud? They're complaining about him. Is he?
Jackson Dart, the
We
verdict's
don't
still
know.
out on him. He's going to get killed.
People look up and down. We don't know, dude.
Drake May.
Right now? Yeah, it looks
Nobody
great.
had Drake May as a top. The two number one seeds are Bo Nix and Drake May. But yet
Take a
here
deep
you
breath.
are.
Take a deep breath.
No,
Tua
I've
looked.
taken a deep breath, but yet these are not the sexy number one picks in the draft. But yet you're
Yeah,
still here.
I'm still here doing what? What are you actually saying? You trying to make like an argument? What are you talking about,
No, I'm
bro?
specifically saying
No
that it
one, no
doesn't
one,
have to
no
be
one is
Arch
no.
Manning or the Savior doesn't have to
You're
be
right. You're
a
right.
number one or a number two fit.
Eddie,
fit.
I didn't say that, but I'm saying if you're gonna, if you want to, you're going into another thing. You said take my hat off, and we were just talking about this season. Now you want to go back into the Arch Manning thing. Sure, I'm just
Okay,
saying
but then
if you're
but you kind of put the hat back on. I didn't see it, but
no,
the hat's back
you
on.
no, I didn't put the hat back on. I
Yes,
didn't put the
dude,
hat back.
because you're getting me aggravated.
So,
But the
dude, I
problem,
don't.
the problem and the thing is that as delusional man that you don't want to accept is, do you realize who your two number one seeds are? Right now, you have Drake May,
What does
you
that
have
have to do
Bo
with
Nix,
anything?
you
What
have
does that have to
you
do with
have
anything,
Patrick Mahomes on the outside, and yet
dude?
here we are,
Stop,
still
stop.
borderline ass at six
What are
and
you,
seven, worried
dude? You're
about
being.
what Tua's doing. There's people taking
This
leaps.
is
There's
stupid.
people taking steps back. And right now, we've just stayed consistently wherever over poor decision making. And now Tua being the quarterback, at least for the next year. One,
Buddy, if we're
if
gonna
we
talk
go
about
into
the
next
Dolphins, I don't
season
want to
with
talk about
Tua,
other teams.
this isn't right that we're
This
trying
isn't
to
right.
talk over each other
Yeah.
because I try and give you your time and then I want to try and get my time. And it's just not right that you want to talk over me just because you don't like to handle the truth. Like a lot of people in this world, we're just talking about the Dolphins and you can't go into next season with Mike McDaniel as the coach and Tua as the quarterback. It just can't be. It cannot be. In what world? And then what? You're sitting here hoping what? That Tua does one of two things. They either tank and are really awful, or he does great. And we're in the same situation we were 2 years ago, where they're like, oh,
What?
maybe we have to give him more money.
No, no. What are you? That's not a thing. No, that's dumb. That part was dumb. Everything else you were saying was right. Saying that part is so stupid. Shut up. For real. No, no one's gonna be like, oh, he would still be under contract for 2 more years. We wouldn't be in a situation where like, oh, we got to pay him again. That's not a thing. Stop
Mike,
saying things that aren't real. Everything
this
else you
is
were
a what
right.
have you done for me lately type of league.
I
Daniel
understand. Nobody.
Jones, even with his torn Achilles, is probably going to get a couple-year contract to stay within Indianapolis. Mac
Sure.
Jones is going to be highly coveted because he's
Okay.
staying in a
Time
few
out.
games.
Time
So you're
out.
sitting here telling me
Time.
that a
Time
few
out.
wins doesn't
Eddie.
push the needle for people?
Eddie.
Because it
No. Time out.
does.
Eddie, shut up for a second. For real. Shut up. No one's gonna be sitting there giving Tua a contract. Shut up. Like get that regardless of what happened. That he's under contract. He's even if he was good next year, he still has 2 more years. That's not a conversation you would have to have. So stop bringing up that hypothetical. You're not gonna be in a
He
situation where even
specifically
if
said it was his third year next year and they don't have to pick up the fourth-year option.
it's not about picking up, it's about releasing him and still paying him. There's no pick up. Stop. This isn't a rookie contract, buddy. He's got a 4 year extension. Last year was the first year. This is the second year. Three, four, 2 more years. Next year, if he was still getting paid, they can cut him, but you're still paying him. That's the point I was trying to explain.
I'm sorry I don't have his contract details sitting
Okay,
in
so
front of
then
me.
that's why
But the
when I say
point that I'm
timeout,
making is
stop.
if Tua goes in and plays well next season and maybe goes to the playoffs and it's a first round exit, you don't sit here thinking that everybody's like, oh my God, maybe we can keep him around.
That might be true, but don't say give him another contract. That's what I was getting annoyed at. Don't say that because that's not a thing. I'm saying maybe they keep him around. Yes, that's. I just want it to be realistic with the facts of what we're talking about. Yes, could they be like maybe we keep him around if he went to the playoffs and won a playoff game? Yeah, he's deserved it. That's not going to happen, bro. You don't regress like this, and your footwork gets worse. That's the thing. It's just not going to happen. But you're arguing about we can't go in with McDaniel or Tua. I'm asking, okay, then what do you want? You have to have Tua next year, whether he's on the bench or he's not.
I
He's
didn't
on the
say
team next
McDaniel
year.
or I said McDaniel and they're not going to sit Tua on the bench making $50 million. It's not happening.
Why? Why? Why?
$50
Why?
million is why.
Buddy, yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you
Let
have
me
a new
ask you a
G,
question. Give me the
you're
last three $50
Eddie,
million quarterbacks that are sitting on the bench. Give me the last three.
there's not a scenario because this is a very particular situation.
Scenario to pay
Eddie,
somebody $50
how
million.
how, how
And
are you going to assume what the new GM is going to want to do?
I
Why
would
are
think
you
that you're going to put
assuming?
him. The new GM doesn't really have a choice for next season if he's making $50 million. He's
Why
got
does
to
he
roll
have?
with Tua.
Okay, well, did they sit Russell Wilson for the last 6 games when he was making $50 million in Denver? Because they were like, wait, we don't want this. Yes, they did, buddy. If you want to fucking move on from him, you're not going to let him play on another team. Agree? Why would you want, you know how shitty that would feel if he was on the Saints or the Raiders and he was winning games off of your $50 million? So he's not getting released next year. It's just not happening.
You think
But
there's a
if you,
trade scenario?
maybe where there's negotiating money, maybe, but I
Now
can't
that's
assume that.
fun delusion. Give me a trade scenario.
I want to explain something to you. I want to go back because you don't think this is possible. If a new GM comes and moves on from Mike McDaniel, he could very well be like, I want him on the bench and I start Zach Wilson or anyone, and we play bad because I want to draft a quarterback.
That's a behind the scenes type of handshake deal, though.
Sure,
That's a
but and then that
behind the scenes handshake
and
deal, though. And you're not
and
keeping Mike McDaniel on board for that, especially if he's
no,
playing.
of course not. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But if Mike McDaniel is there next year, we're playing to win. If he's not there, there is a very well good chance that they are in the tank season next year. That's very possible. If
Mike,
Mike
they're
McDaniel,
too talented of a team to tank next season.
everybody, Eddie, everyone's talented. It's not that crazy. So are the Raiders. There's not studs on there. They have one of the best defensive ends and tight ends on the team. Very talented, bro. Bad teams have talented players. It's very fine to do that. If you don't have Tua playing and you have a rookie that you drafted in the third round next year, or you have yours playing, they're not going to win more than 5 games.
Fair enough, but a new general manager is not coming in both with a quarterback he doesn't like and a coach that is not his. It's not
No,
happening.
but now the best scenario could be, yeah, they trade Tua and agree to pay 30 of his 50 million and make the other team pick up the 20 million, and he goes to be a bridge quarterback for like the Saints, the Raiders, I don't know, maybe the Vikings. I don't know. Like different, yes. Is there a
Maybe the
world where that could
Colts.
happen? No, Daniel Jones will be ready.
He's got an Achilles injury. He's out next year.
No, the technology now is impressive.
Are you
Look,
out of
Aaron
your
Rodgers.
mind?
Well, if Aaron Rodgers can come back that quickly, why can't he?
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers
didn't come
came.
back that quickly. Aaron Rodgers
He
was out
came.
the whole year, a year and a
He came
half.
back. He came back in that same season. He hurt it game one, and then he came back by the end of the season. He was on the practice field throwing the ball, ready to come back. Yes,
But
he
he didn't.
was.
There's a. You said he came back and then he was ready to come back. He didn't play. He was practicing. Of course, he can practice, but then he got another 7 months.
If they had won, he was going to play. Yes or no? Is that true or not? Yes or no? If they had won and they were in content to make the playoffs, was he coming back to play?
No, didn't you watch his documentary? He specifically said he wasn't.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Prove it.
He said he could have played, but he wasn't
Oh,
going to play.
oh, so that's something different. So then there you go.
Yeah, anybody could say they could have
If,
played.
if if the Jets won 2 more games in a row and they were like 3 games out of 2 games out of the wild card, he was going to play. Yes or no?
You want me to call him? No, I don't think so. No.
What do you
Aaron
want from me,
Rodgers
dude?
just
What
looks
do you want from
dead
me?
on the field. What?
Yeah, that's done. What do you want from me? You know what I mean? What do you want me to say? You want me to
I
say we
just want you to
suck?
say. I just want you to say. I don't. What I want you to say and what you're gonna say are two different. I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to just. I just want you to
Are you
one.
are you are you are you excited for them to win on Monday and get to 7-7? Yes or no?
I am. I
Okay
am.
then. Okay then.
I am. But there is still a little piece of me that's kind of dead because it's such a delusion to think they can get in. And what do you want for your teams? You just want your teams to at least have a shot at the playoffs. And we sat here in the beginning of the season, and just for it to go the way that it did, I mean, the loss to the Browns, and you know, it wasn't so much the loss to the Browns, but you posting that story of really trying to get after that redhead woman in the city of Brown with red, and
That
I
was
was
I
just
was in
like,
the
God,
Panthers. Wait, what? That was in Carolina, but that was in Carolina.
yeah, but it was just all so ugly, and I just
No,
can't
that
get
was fun. It was
certain
really
big.
it was really funny. It was funny actually.
I don't know. She looked disgusted. You looked disgusted. You were upset, and then just
It's
ever since
humor.
then, a little part of me died. And it's just like, God, what does it come to? Where are we? Why are we here? Because
Why
they
would it be
should,
any different than it's been in the last 25 years? That's your own fault. Why are you not paying attention to history? That's
because it
like you
wasn't
and
supposed to be this way.
oh, well, how was it supposed to be?
Because boy, Because boy genius coach Mike McDaniel, when you're
Don't
that
you
offensive minded,
don't talk about him. Don't you talk bad about him.
I don't want
Don't
to
you
say
dare.
no, but
Don't you
he took a
dare.
step back. He took a step back, and
Oh,
now
did
when we
he?
wanna you wanna
He
praise him and give him another opportunity for too little, too late. A lot of people were
one of
calling for his head but only
look
Greer
at
got fired, and now it's like, okay, let's keep him around because
I
he's
would
turning the corner. But at the end of the day,
I was never
Tua
calling for his head.
is still the quarterback.
I was never calling for his head. I never was calling for Mike McDaniel's head.
So why not give Zach Wilson a chance?
Because I don't. He's that bad. I think he thinks that our best chance to win is with Tua right now, and But you could clearly show that he doesn't believe in Tua because 2 games in a row now, when there's little time left, he doesn't try to score. He just like, let's just take the 3 points here. He's done it a couple times, which is his message to the rest of the league, going, I don't like my quarterback anymore. He's out on Tua. You can tell he's out on Tua. He's done many things to show that he doesn't believe in Tua, and he thinks that Tua will make a mistake. He's done it 2 weeks in a row. And I
So
think
do you
he's
think
like,
Brian Flores was right about Tua?
no, because Tua made a Pro Bowl, so he was wrong. So is he right now? You could say yes, but he was wrong too. He was also wrong. Tua played well and was awesome and elite in 2023. Has he regressed? Yes. I don't know why. Maybe there is some physical stuff. Sometimes people get figured out. The NFL figures out guys. And I wanted to go back on you talking about Bo Nix and Drake May. Yes, it's year 2, but take a breath. Nobody is really proven until they consistently do it for 4 years in a row. That's why Lamar and Josh and Mahomes are the guys, because we see guys be good sometimes and then fall off. We don't know yet. They're having a great year, but this does not mean they'll be great for 10 years yet. It does not mean
Could
that.
you imagine waking up every day knowing Josh Allen's your quarterback? What kind
Yeah,
of feeling would that be? That's gotta feel good.
I wouldn't have time for this because I would be happy. So I wouldn't be doing a podcast, that's for sure. Because this is therapeutic for me. It's just to help me get through it. So I wouldn't need a podcast anymore. I would just be happy. Because what would
Is
I be
your
like? Hey, we won again. Woo!
like
Like what?
even for them, like this is a down year for them. It's a down year. And
They're
still
gonna
they sit where they are.
they're gonna go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
could be. It could
I
be.
think I think
Not
I think
now, when? If not
Mahomes
now, when?
Mahomes not being in the playoffs for them. That's it. You think they're gonna lose in the divisional round or the championship to Bo Nix or Drake May? You're out of your mind.
And
You're out
Lamar
of
is
your
a
mind.
shell of
A
himself.
shell of himself, dude. You're out of your mind. That's the closest thing to Michael Jordan in the NFL is Josh Allen with competitive greatness, like the will to want to win, the will to want to win. It's like it's like he's a Russell Westbrook. He just like he'll maybe he's not as talented, but he's gonna do his best. But in this case, Josh Allen is probably the most talented quarterback.
Do you remember when we were in Vegas and Russell Westbrook was coming down the escalator and we're like, "What's up, Russ?" Do you remember that? You were right in front of me.
But you know how many guys I meet that are around me? It's just crazy.
Oh my god, that didn't sound homo in any way, shape, or form. That's cool.
Either it's gonna be Bills versus Lions.
The
Yeah,
Lions, huh?
they're gonna get in 7th seed.
I think the
They're gonna
Bills
win.
and
They're gonna win the
Packers.
last game. They're gonna win the last game of the season and get in over the Bears. And
I think the Bills and Packers.
that's not a wild take. It could be
No.
anyone. You could say anything at this point. I'll tell you who's not going to be in the Super Bowl: the Patriots.
How would that make you feel?
I would stop. I would stop watching the NFL. I'll delete my YouTube and stop watching the NFL.
Imagine they go to the Super Bowl and then next year the Dolphins are in a tanking year. Could you just imagine? Could you just imagine?
What? See, why do you got to do that? Why do
Because
you push this positivity down with like your brand and you're trying to be positive and you come in here and you try to say disgusting, repulsive stuff to me. Why do you do that? You want to hurt people? You trying to hurt people? Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, it's just,
yeah.
I think the problem nowadays is that reality just sits right in people's faces, like, and it could potentially be a reality, and we're much closer to that reality than other things. And when you talk about potential reality to people, like, they just get like, you see how you're getting? It's like, hey, I'm talking about something that could possibly happen. And you see how disgusted and instantly angry you get, and then look at me as the problem. That's life in general. It's like, oh my God, Eddie's creating so much problems. But really, all I'm doing is speaking the truth that could potentially happen. You know what I mean?
Does
It's
it make
not,
you feel better? Does it make
no,
you
it
feel better?
doesn't. No, it doesn't make
So,
me feel better. It's just like I don't.
so are you
I'm not saying things to make you feel worse. You know what I
okay?
mean?
So then
That's
I
what I'm
want
saying.
you, I want you to wake up on Monday night, and I want you to like kind of put some decorations up, and you get the kids around and go Super Bowl Monday. It's Super Bowl Monday,
Okay.
and just accept the outcome, but know that hey, at least they gave us this game. We got one game this year that was like a Super Bowl feeling.
Give me a final score.
13-2.
That's where you're at. 13-2.
No, it's gonna be like 23 to like 17.
Dolphins
Yeah. Defensive touchdown.
and a rushing
20.
touchdown. Tua does nothing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they're
Sounds
not
like
gonna have
you're
him
out
do
on
much.
Tua too. It sounds like you're out on Tua.
What do you mean? I've been out on Tua since I mean maybe week two.
I mean, I can go back to some recordings. You've never been a Tua guy.
I was a Tua guy in 2023.
You've never been a Tua guy, Mike. And I'm
I,
thinking that all this stuff that you put out about the Dolphins delusion,
I
like
did
secretly
unfollow
deep
him.
down, you want him to fail. And I think you've
No,
been the
I
problem
didn't.
all along with them.
He's just not. He's not a cool guy. He's not a like. I'm not inviting him out with me, and that's the problem. Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. I want to hang out with them. I want to hang out with my quarterback, dude. Most of the quarterbacks in the NFL, I would hang out with. I don't care to hang out with Tua, and that's the problem. If I'm gonna have a quarterback, I want to hang out with him. I don't
That's
want
a
to hang out with Tua.
that's a fair point. It
Do you know
is.
what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to hang out with him either.
I wouldn't even hang out with Drake May. You know what I mean? I don't want to hang
Yeah.
out with Tua.
Yeah, his name's just cool, Drake May. Like,
It's
hey,
like
let's hang. Tua,
who?
you're a lefty.
It's
You got
I, can-
braids.
I'm thinking about all the quarterback. Like I don't want to hang out with Geno Smith. Like there's a lot of quarterbacks I don't want to hang out with. There's only a few I don't want to hang out with. It's Tua, Geno. I don't care to hang out with Sam Darnold. Probably. Like I feel like we would get along though.
Be okay.
Yeah, it would be okay. I don't care to hang out with Purdy.
You don't want to hang out with Purdy?
Nah,
I don't want to
I don't
hang out
think
with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray and Tua don't seem like the guys.
no, no.
No,
But at least Kyler looks like he'll joke around a little bit though.
no, he won't. No. Dolphins 26, Pittsburgh 15.
Oh, just 5 field goals.
I like that. Okay, I didn't think of it that way. Maybe a 2 point conversion and a touchdown. Whatever. 15 is 15. 26-15.
And then we can talk about making the playoffs. Things could happen. We don't know what's going to happen all on those other games.
Deal.
Crazy things could happen around the league. Teams could lose,
So we're gonna go from 6-7 to 7-7.
and then we get to play a 1 o'clock Bengals game.
Okay.
All right, bye.